Hello, K1 campers. You've made it to week 6. It's your last day of English class. I hope everyone had a good weekend and that you're ready for your last week of Camp Challenge. So, since it's our last week, I decided that we're going to do a bit of a fun activity today. So, it's going to be similar to when we listened to No More Noisy Nights, and we're going to listen to a different story, and then we're going to be filling out a chart about story elements to go with it. So before we get started, let's just review what we did last week. Last week we talked about just reading comprehension. We read the 2 different passages and you were answering questions after them. So we were focusing on going back into the story and looking for information that was in there, and usually looking for the exact words from the question. So today, like I said, we're going to be following along with a story that someone's reading to us. And then what you should have in your resource bag that I want you to get out is this worksheet. So it doesn't have a title, but at the top it says title and author, and it has different story elements on there. So all that story elements are is just the different parts of the story, such as we look at the characters, the setting, problem, solution, and then the parts of the story, beginning, middle, and end, and then main idea. So what is the author teaching us, or why did they write this story? What's the idea of it? So what we're going to do is I want you to have that worksheet out, and I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to follow along with the story that's being read. I'll stop it throughout to ask you a couple questions, and then when we're done, we're going to fill out this page together. So we're going to watch the story first. Okay. So for title at the top, I want you to write The Rainbow Fish at the top of your page. And it's right up here where my mouse is. Look up here. The Rainbow Fish is the title of our story that we are writing on our page here. Okay, so just like you did with the last story online, we're following along. And I'll stop it, ask you some questions, just make sure you're paying attention. It's about 6 minutes.
Hello, and welcome to Storyline Online, brought to you by the Screen Actors Guild Foundation. My name is Ernest Borgnine, and we're going to be reading a...
Okay, so before we continue with that, I want you to write the name of the author. So that's who wrote the book, and it's right here at the top of your page. That's who writes the words in the book, and it is right here, Marcus Pfister. So copy that. Okay, so once you have that copied, eyes back on the screen, we're going to start watching.
Today called The Rainbow Fish by Marcus Pfister. All right, here we go. A long way out in the deep blue sea, there lived a fish. Not just an ordinary fish, but the most beautiful fish in the entire ocean. His scales were every shade of blue, and green, and purple, with sparkling silver scales among them. Oh, beautiful.
So right here, I already have a question for you. Why do you think rainbow fish is so special? And I want you to answer that for me out loud. Why is rainbow fish so special? And you can tell by looking at them what's different from an average fish. So what's special about rainbow fish is the scales that we see here that are very sparkly.
The other fish were amazed at his beauty. They called him Rainbow Fish. Come on, Rainbow Fish, they would call. Come on and play with us. But the rainbow fish would just glide past, proud and silent, letting his scales shimmer. One day, a little blue fish followed after him. Rainbow fish, he called, wait for me. Please, give me one of your shiny scales. They're so wonderful and you have so many. You want me to give you one of my special scales? Who do you think you are? Cried the rainbow fish. Get away from me. Shocked, the little blue fish swam away. He was so upset, he told all his friends of what had happened. From then on, no one would have anything to do with the rainbow fish.
Okay, so we just saw another character introduced, and their name was Bluefish. What did Rainbow Fish do to upset Bluefish? What just happened? The event that we saw, why was he upset? So he's upset because Rainbow Fish is not agreeing to give him one of his scales or share with him. And we can tell he's upset because he just swims away, and then here we even see he wants nothing to do with the rainbow fish. So not looking too good for Rainbow Fish right now.
They turned away when he swam by. What good were the dazzling, shimmering scales with no one to admire them? Now he was the loneliest fish in the entire ocean. One day he poured out his troubles to the starfish. I really am beautiful. Why doesn't anybody like me? I can't answer that for you, said the starfish. But if you go beyond the coral reef to a deep cave, you will find the wise octopus.
So up to this point, we had Rainbow Fish, Bluefish, and then can you tell me out loud 2 more characters that we just met, other than all the other fish that were in the group with Bluefish? So we saw a starfish, and then we see Rainbow Fish is about to go meet the octopus. And then why was Rainbow Fish the loneliest fish? Give me an answer out loud for that one. So Rainbow Fish was the loneliest fish because he didn't want to share his scales with Bluefish, and then everyone kind of turned against him. He didn't have many friends because he didn't want to share with the other fish.
She could help him. The rainbow fish found the cave. It was very dark inside, and he couldn't see anything. And then suddenly, 2 eyes caught him in their glare. And the octopus emerged from the darkness. I have been waiting for you, said the octopus, with a deep voice. The waves have told me your story. This is my advice. Give a glittering scale to each of the other fish. You will no longer be the most beautiful fish in the sea, but you will discover how to be happy. I can't, the rainbow fish started to say, but the octopus had already disappeared into a dark cloud of ink.
So I want you to think about now, why do you think Rainbow Fish doesn't want to give away his shiny scales? What could be a reason for that? Because we see he has many opportunities to give them away and he chooses not to. I would say that I think he doesn't want to give away his shiny scales because there's something special to him and they make him feel unique, so he has a hard time giving that up. It means a lot to him.
Give away my scales? My beautiful shining scales? Never. How could I ever be happy without them? Suddenly, he felt the light touch of a fin. The little bluefish was back. Rainbow fish, please don't be angry. I just want one little scale. The rainbow fish wavered. Only one very, very small, shimmering scale, he thought. Well, maybe I would miss just one. Carefully, the rainbow fish pulled out the smallest scale and gave it to the little fish. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, the little blue fish bubbled playfully as he tucked the shiny scale in among his blue ones. A rather peculiar feeling came over the rainbow fish. For a long time, he watched the little blue fish swim back and forth with his new scale glittering in the water. The little blue fish whizzed through the ocean with his scale flashing, so it didn't take long before the rainbow fish was surrounded by the other fish. Everyone wanted a glittering scale. The rainbow fish shared his scales left and right, and the more he gave away, the more delighted he became. When the water around him filled with glimmering scales, he at last felt at home among the other fish. Finally, the rainbow fish had only one shining scale left. His most prized possessions had been given away. Yet, he was very happy. Come on, rainbow fish, they called. Come and play with us. Here I come, said the rainbow fish, and happy as a splash, he swam off to join his friends. How wonderful. That's called The Rainbow Fish by Marcus Pfister. Okay?
Alrighty. So I hope you enjoyed that story. I really like that one. It's one of my favorites from when I was younger. Because I think it tells a good story about friendship, and there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from it. So I would like you to get out this page again. We're going to follow along and do some of these questions on here. So you should have the title and the author, and then our first part is characters. So everyone should know the first character. It's the title of the book, Rainbow Fish. So Rainbow Fish ran into a problem with a character at the beginning. What was that character's name? This character wanted one of Rainbow Fish's scales. That was Bluefish. And then there were two other characters right after that that I'm thinking of. I had stopped the video and asked you who the other two were. So one was Starfish, and the other was Octopus. So you should have those written down there. And just do your best with spelling. It's fine as long as you are understanding how we're getting the answers on here. And then another one that you could put would be School of Fish, because we saw the big group of fish. When we have a group of fish, they're called a school. So we have our last answer down here would be School of Fish. So we have rainbow fish, bluefish, starfish, octopus, and then you can also put School of Fish if you want to talk about all the fish that we see at the end of the story. So, where does the story take place? This is something that we just have to pick up on from either reading the book or watching kind of the video that was presented while we were watching the story. So, I want you to say out loud, where does the story take place? So I would say if you have anything that's close to the ocean, under the sea, something like that, I'm going to go with the ocean. Ocean is ocean. And when does it take place? We don't exactly get this one, but we can kind of infer and use the information that we're given to figure out when the story is taking place. So, were any of the fish sleeping? Do we think it was at night? No, I would say it was not at nighttime. I'm going to go with the time being during the day because we see the fish moving around, being active. I'm going to say during the day. So right over here, during the day for the time. Okay. Now this one's a little bit tricky. What was the problem in the story? I want you to think in terms of our main character, Rainbow Fish. What problem was Rainbow Fish having that he ends up solving? I want you to take a guess out loud for me. So the problem that Rainbow Fish is having is that he isn't friends with the other fish. He doesn't have any friends in the ocean. So he does not have any friends in the ocean. Right here. That's the problem that he's trying to solve. He's trying to make some friends in the ocean. And we see throughout the story he's having a hard time. He doesn't want to give his scales away because they're special to him. At the end, how does Rainbow Fish make friends? What does he do? So at the end, Rainbow Fish, this will be your solution, gives one sparkly scale to each fish. And that's how he ends up making friends at the end. He's giving one sparkly scale to each fish. Okay, so then we already talked about part of this answer, but we want to look for our beginning, middle, and end. So thinking back to the story, what did we learn in the beginning, or what was kind of the introduction? So I would say at the beginning, Rainbow Fish has lots of sparkly scales. Rainbow Fish has a lot of sparkly scales. Is our beginning. What do we see happen in the middle? That's kind of when the story gets very involved. We see a lot of events happening at once. I would say for the middle, we're seeing Rainbow Fish give his scales away. Rainbow Fish gives his sparkly scales away. And then last thing at the end, could be the same as our solution. So the solution was that he gives a sparkly scale to each fish, and then what did we see after that? What happened once the other fish got the scales? Take a guess and then start writing. I'm gonna say Rainbow Fish makes many new friends. Rainbow Fish makes many new friends is the end. So you can use the problem and solution to help guide you through that because the problem usually happens at the beginning of the story, and then we'll see our solution at the middle or the end. Very good. So I hope you got a good bit of those answers on your own. It's okay if not, so I'm here to help. I hope you enjoyed the story. For the last part, our question says, what is the author teaching us, or what the author is teaching us? For your poll question, I want you to tell me what the author was teaching us in this story. And think about how at the beginning, Rainbow Fish didn't have many friends. He had to make a tough decision, and then he ends up making friends at the end. So what is the main idea, or what the author is teaching us? I want you to tell me that answer for your poll question. So that's the end of our lesson for today. I hope everyone enjoyed the story, that you did well on your worksheet. And I just wanted to thank everyone for participating throughout the 6 weeks. Even though I didn't get to meet many of you, I had a good time making the lessons. I hope you enjoyed them too. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer, and good luck with the school year. Bye.